his fate, as well as the world's, we must measure up to the challenge of real and respectable strength.
I've had the pleasure of knowing Coach Scarpello since he was a high school coach at Salesiana. He's coached at Cabrini, he's coached at Delaware, he's currently at Farley Dickinson Floral, which used to be after Madison. Apparently it didn't move, but the town changed, but whatever. Anyway, he is a lacrosse lifer. He's been involved in the game 30 years. He's been coached at different levels. At every level where he's been successful. He is a dynamic speaker. I'm looking forward to the presentation. Coach Pat Scarpello.
I don't know about dynamic, that's for sure. But I'd like to thank Jim for inviting me here today to speak to everyone. It's a great opportunity. Like Jim said, this would be my 30th year coaching. Unlike Coach Haas, I've only been under one other head coach. All the other times I've been the head coach, and that was with Coach Schoenwald down at University of Delaware. And like Coach Haas, I learned a ton from Coach Schoenwald, and he's probably forgotten more lacrosse than I know. Everything I have here today, I've gotten from somebody else. When I attend these seminars, sit with other coaches, is exactly how I get my information and how I try to do my continuing education. And Coach Haas, when I was at Salesiana, had a handful of my players down there at Washington College, and he was kind enough to sit with me and go over his own defense, which I believe he called 6 at the time, which helped them beat Salisbury State. And it's people like that, like Coach Haas and Coach Schillinglaw, that you gather all your information and you fall in love with the game and you learn more about it. So hopefully today you'll get something out of this set that I got that I'm going to present here today. At any point, if there's a question or you're not sure about something, please stop me so I can go back over it and explain it more thoroughly to you. We're a little bit behind schedule, so I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit for Coach DeRose, and we'll get started. All right, the Bears offense is a 1-3-2. It's something that I got from Chris Bates when he was at Drexel, who's now at Princeton. I asked him for a copy of the video. He sent it, and I purposely didn't ask him a ton of questions. I watched the video numerous times over and over again to see if I could figure out what it was they were trying to accomplish, and or if it was something I could actually use at the level I was at. So I did, and then sure enough there was a couple questions, and we followed up with them, and it's our base set. By no means is it the only thing we do offensively, but it's our base set that our freshmen, it's the first thing we put in during the fall season. Okay, things that I like about this set, I believe, is you can create your own offense. Okay, it's a two-man picking game, as we'll see as we go on. For us, if you don't have a real strong offense and there's a strong defense that you're playing, by playing that two-man picking game, a lot of times you can create your own offense. You can, sooner or later that defense is going to break down with communication, and that's what you're hoping for. Okay, so I think it's a good way to create your own opportunities, keep the ball moving, and staying balanced at the same time. All right. We call this set Tiger. If we're in another set, say it's a deuces set, okay, and there's a ground ball situation, unsettled situation, you play it out. Right? We encourage our guys, like a lot of people have heard before, you want to keep the ball moving. So off a ground ball situation, you pick up that ground ball, you move it quick. 2 quick passes, try to attack. Once we've let that play out, if we're a little bit unsettled and we're not getting anything, we yell Tiger, and everybody knows where to go, where their spots are. Okay, and we'll explain that more as we go on. With the two-man picking game, everybody's exchanging off ball. So it is, constant movement, for the offense, all right? Like everything else, we have non-negotiables in this set, all right? And these are things that we will hammer home every single practice, okay? Whether we're stuck indoors or outside, these are things that we do not allow our guys not to do, all right? First thing is spacing and knowing the numbers of each spot. We'll get into the numbering system in a minute. It's important to recognize mismatches right away and attack it, right? So out of an unsettled situation, the example I just gave, we're going to try to go, all right? We're going to try to take advantage of an unsettled situation. Off-ball guys know that they need two adjacents. They need to move the ball 2 quick times, and if we have a layup or a shot, we're going to take it. If we don't, then we'll get into Tiger and we'll balance up again. Non-negotiable picks, 20-yard line. For a lot of us, you have a football field or a turf field. A lot of us, we don't. Okay, that 20-yard line is the marker for us. That's where that pick has to happen, or higher. Okay. Another way to view it would be halfway down from the restraining line. Okay, that's the spot on the field, and we'll show you, in here in a little bit, that those picks have to happen in order for us to have the maximum threat of the two-man picking game. All right. The picker has to turn his defender in order to set an effective pick. Okay, we think there's a right way and a wrong way of setting the pick. All right. And then we'll show you that in a minute also. Ground balls must be picked up and moved quickly, looking to attack right away. We talked about that. The balls need to be moved in and out of the stick quickly. All right. This past December, we were at the convention. Coach Tierney talked about their offense, and he talked about, having your stick cocked, ready to receive the ball, and getting rid of it. All right. So the stick can't be down. It has to be up behind your ear, ready to receive it, all right, and then ready to get rid of it. So pre-practice, just like Coach runs, he talked about our stick work drills, we're firing the ball, all right, and there's tons of balls, okay, so if we're missing, but eventually, we're going to learn how to throw that thing hard and accurate, all right, and take advantage of that, together, an unsettled situation, and being ready to go. After the initial burn, which I'll explain what that is, every time you pass the ball, you should be exchanging, all right? These are things, all these things right here, guys, if we're not getting this, it's hard for the set to work, all right? And we have clips at the end, and I'll show you, and you'll see what I'm talking about, referring to. But these are our non-negotiables, all right? Coach? 1, 3, 2, we count out back. These are the spots, okay? So no matter what happens, all right, if you start out here and you end up here, you're 5. Whether you're attack, midi with the LSM, it doesn't matter, all right? So the first thing we teach our guys is this number system, which goes clockwise. It's simple for them to learn. We hammer it at home, all right? Next one, Coach. So you've got your attack, right, and the mids, right? This, to start out, when we teach it, we put the LSM to the crease. But you'll see as we go on, that will change. All right, so your 3 defenders, LSM, and 2 short sticks. All right, Coach. First time down, in the perfect world, we like for everybody to get a touch. Maybe 2 touches. All right. After that ball works around once, twice, after that, every time I throw the ball, we get an exchange. So, and what's going to dictate how many times we get the touches, or is, are we settled? Have we been playing a long, stint of defense? offense is the defense, a high pressure defense, like Coach mentioned Stevenson, they're gonna come out and pressure all over the field from start to finish, especially if they feel they're superior than you, okay? So, that may play into our situation, whether we're gonna get 1 or 2 touches around or just get into it and go, all right? So we're gonna show it here, and what we're showing, obviously the crease is, mirroring the flight of the ball, all right? Some of the diagrams here aren't perfect when we show them, and we'll explain that and we'll cover that as we go. All right, so ball goes clockwise. Next one, Coach. All right, so we talked about setting the pick, all right? So if Coach, can you come up here? So if we're setting the pick, all right, I'm 5, all right? Coach is 1, and I'm picking for him, all right? I'm sorry, you be the defender, all right? My guy's 1 here, I'm 5. If I go in front of my defender, all right, we believe this is so easy for it to be covered, all right? It's his job to make the switch or the stay call, all right? So whether or not we're gonna get anything off of setting the pick that way, 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna create anything, all right? I need to at least turn his head and his hips, all right? So I gotta go pick for 1, all right? The ball's behind at number 2 spot at X, all right? So if I cut here, look, he has to open up. I take him deep, I come up, I set the pick, all right? We hammer that home, constantly, and you'll see in the video clips, guys doing it right and guys doing it wrong, okay? The next thing, if we're trying to burn 1, okay? Now, this terminology, fellas, you can call it anything you want. Fire, green, whatever. We just happen to use burn as the terminology. So if we burn 1, 5 is picking 1. And then we'll back up here a second. All right? These are the 2 pairs, 2 pairs, 2 pairs. Those numbers are the ones that are working in unison with each other. Okay? Shooting drills, we'll do 1 and 5 shooting drills, 2 and 6 shooting drills, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 5 and 4. We break it down and we make sure everybody understands what their responsibility is in whatever spot they end up. Okay? And where that comes into play is often an unsettled situation. All right? So again, if there's a 50-50 ground ball comes up the offense, we try to attack right away, didn't get anything, everybody's all over the place, 4's down here now, whatever the case may be. We yell tiger, everybody gets to these spots, okay? So if 4's over here and 1's like right around here, 1's not gonna go to him and say, move, 1's gonna go find another spot that's open, all right? And we believe what that does is the defense is now forced to play everywhere on the field, okay? So, and I'm getting off track, but I'll get back to it. So this defender here, who's playing that lefty, attackman, that's his happy place, right? That's where he knows exactly how much distance he needs to hedge in, cover up the crease, how long it takes to open up, split the difference, how many steps that is. All right, you move him up here, he may not be as comfortable, okay? Or if he ends up back here, it's not a comfortable level for him to play 9 times out of 10, all right? So that's why it's important for our offense to be good. Now, obviously, that lefty, our natural lefty there is going to have more success than a righty, right? But this guy, he'll know how to set a pick, where to set the pick, how to open up, what his options are, okay? So back to burning 1, right? And this, we're going to show what everybody's going to be doing when we fire or burn 1, okay? So we set the right way, set the pick, all right? Coach, run it. Sorry? Right, yeah, okay? So like I was talking about, we're not exactly 20 where the pick was set where we'd like it to be, but you get the idea. Every time we fire, we burn 1, 2, and 6, exchange on the backside of the pipe. By going backside of the pipe, this creates more space in here for that pick to happen, okay? Whether he comes off hard to a shot, he throws back to the picker, runs a pick and roll or a slip screen, whatever the case may be. The more space that's in here for that to happen, the more success you're gonna have, okay? 4 and 3 exchanged, all right? And this is all happening at the same time as 5's coming down to set the pick for 1. Now, a couple things with this, all right? When we exchange, you know, you gotta do your best to make sure your guys are always looking at the ball, all right? And their back's not to the ball. You know, it's common sense, but trust me, it's something that you have to remind them, all right? Because a lot of times, we'll try to, you know, especially teams that we've played for the last couple of years and know this set now, they know they'll may very well do a decent job of covering this up and playing this against us, right? But if we're getting this exchanged the way it's supposed to be, when one's coming off, he has an option to fire that across or fire it down, you know, to 4, who's now in the 3 spot, okay? So as this goes on, you'll see all the options that come out of it, all right? Right now, I just want to make sure the things we know and we make notes on is how we exchange, how we set the pick, very crucial, okay? How we come off the pick. It has to be full speed. It has, you know, he has to be flying off the pick as if he's getting ready to turn and shoot, okay? That's keeping the defense honest, and that's what's going to make it hard to zone that up if they decide to do so. Yes?
Does 3 and 4, and when they exchange, is there any rub there, or is there any rub 2 and 6?
No, we're not trying to rub anybody. It's just making sure we see the ball and get to the spot so we stay balanced.
Coach, the guy that's, when 5 sets that pick, you have him turning with his hand ready to get the shot, right? Because after he set the pick, as soon as he sets the pick, he's
Yep.
starting looking for the jump afterwards, right?
Yep,
Okay.
and this has to get repped a lot.
Right.
They both have to read those 2 defenders. So if 5 sets the pick, okay, and his guy kind of trails with him, you know, that very well could be a pop, you know, one more, step down shot.
Right. But as soon
Okay.
as you set the pick, after you've executed the pick, you're looking for the ball, right?
You're looking for ball, okay? He can go to start to set the pick, and they see that they're zoning it up or bookending it. He goes set the pick, and he flashes, passes right there. You know, that's why you just keep repping it and repping it and repping it as a shooting drill. 2v2, just on that side of the field. A pick and roll, all those basic basketball moves. Okay. But yes, to answer your question, he's always looking back, expecting the ball. Okay. Getting back to the guy with the ball, one, he has to have the mindset and the mentality that he's sprinting to the cage to shoot, and nobody's there. It's the only way he's going to keep the defense honest. Okay. The picker we talked about, how he does it, you know, the location on the field where we pick, higher the better. I use that 20-yard line as a minimum, okay, as a point of reference. So 2 and 6 exchange, 4 and 3 to coach. So the opposite side, burn 3. The way this is going to show here, it's well below goal line extended, which is not what we're looking for, but bear with us. Here we go. I'm sorry, back up, coach. One thing I forgot to talk about, and if we go back to, can we go back to burn 1? This may be splitting hairs, and so it's your call what you do. When we want to burn 1, we want to go on counterclockwise. All right, the mindset there, from what I think, is that ball's coming from here to there, and now he's cutting down to set the pick. His defender does not know if he's not going to get that feed, and he's cutting for a shot, okay, or what he's doing. So that's hopefully going to allow him to set a better pick, more of a blind pick, okay? If he were to have the ball and throw it down, okay, he still can set a good pick, all right, a proper pick, but that's not as taxing for that defender to see this pass go down to here, or from that pass coming from here to there. You follow me on what I'm saying there? Now, we've scored, enough times this way, all right, just because it was about getting back to attacking right away and going, and it worked out. But whether or not you want to do that, it's up to you, but it's just something I forgot to mention, that's what we hammer home when we first teach this. All right, Coach, burn 3. So now, burn 3 would be clockwise, right? 2 just gave him the ball. Okay, as the ball's working around, creases 6 is moving. That's not right. It should be up here. All right, go ahead. 2 and 6, backside pipe. 5 and 1. Okay.
Coach, when you have that defenseman that's outside his comfort zone, you have him playing up top, wherever, if he trips or falls, your guy has a green light to go to the cage,
Yep.
right? I mean, there's no,
Yep.
he doesn't have to have a pass or anything, he can go right to the cage. Okay.
Nope.
Is there a progression he's looking for, the guy with the ball, in his head in this? See, like, my first look is just shoot.
First, the progression is whoever's getting picked for, whoever has the ball, mine says I'm going to cage to score. Because we're saying, yeah, we're going to set the perfect pick, it's going to come off clean, we're going to go. Usually doesn't happen. Usually it's the pass across is what we get. That it ends up being, whether it's a nice step down shot or it's catch it, the defender's coming back to react, face dodge them, go underneath, score, or one more. Okay? Any other questions so far?
Coach, you have the switch after the pick or during the pick simultaneous?
It happens, we're exchanging, okay, as the pick is happening. Okay? Now remember, let's back up a step here too, is we, like say they're not pressuring us and the ball's worked around once or twice, okay? We say, okay, burn 3, and we throw it down. As soon as we make the pass, everybody's exchanging, all right? If 3 comes off and has nothing and he throws it over to 1 and 1 throws it down, these 2 are exchanging again, they're exchanging again. 5 has it, he'll throw it back, they'll exchange until we call a number, all right? Now, that's for like the first 5 minutes of the game. So I will script it in my head and off of watching video and scouting and whatever, who we think we want to go after. And we'll be patient with that for like the first 5 minutes. That changes also climate of the game, but after the first 5 minutes, I say nothing, and they just go with it, okay? And that's the beauty of the set when you finally get there. We just started getting there last year, and that spot was probably the 3rd year we ran it, because we have more upperclassmen now. So this looks like it's very scripted, and we're trying to orchestrate it, which we are, for the first 5 minutes, and then also until everybody understands. You just got to stay balanced. You got to have these non-negotiables down. Once all that's down, and everybody understands that, it's their offense, and they run it. Okay? We only step in when it gets to the point that they're not being productive, or we're not getting something out of it, or somebody's not doing. So it takes 1 guy, 2 guys not to do what they're supposed to be doing to screw up this set, which you'll see in the clips later. All right? Then we'll go into something else that we run.
The coach, this also gives you a good time to see what the defense is going to do to you by all the
If we weren't able to get a live scout, we always try to get a live scout, even with the video. But if say we didn't get a live scout and we just saw a video, okay, it absolutely gives us an idea. Ooh, he's better than we thought, or maybe he had an off game. Who knows? So it is an evaluation period too. But we also have to be sensitive of time before they put clock on, that type of thing.
So Coach, you'll identify who the fish is or the weakest link on the defense from the scout, right? And then try to run the 2-on-1 from his spot,
Yep.
get him outside his comfort.
Right? And like I said when I started out, there's no fishes on the team we're playing. They're very good and we're okay. That's where learning how to set the picks and doing it right, and exchanging everybody, you know, even the better teams, sooner or later, especially as the game goes on, they're gonna get tired, they're gonna make a mistake, you know? And as soon as that happens, and then it's, our guys get the juice, and they're like, hey, they're, you know, they're just like us, you know? At least that's the mindset. That's what we're trying to do. And
Fish is a fat defenseman that doesn't know what he's doing, and he's cheating all the time, so you know he's the weakest guy. So you isolate him. Sorry.
any other questions?
I was just,
For youth lacrosse coach,
I'm sorry?
for youth lacrosse, where towns are.
I didn't realize youth was gonna be here today, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Who are your most dangerous players? What numbers are your most dangerous players? Since, you know, the lines, you have talent distributed sort of evenly through your lines, who here are your most dangerous players? What numbers?
For me,
Yeah. 1, 2, 3?
if you're talking about my current personnel,
Yeah.
or just in general?
Well, yeah, in general, just to make it,
In general, the most the most dangerous guy on this offense is gonna be, I say two things, you know, there's gonna be the guy that's gonna set the pick properly, okay, and the guy coming off of it at base, he should be the biggest threat. And the next thing is, the furthest guy away from the ball. Because if we're moving it as quick as we're trying, as we practice moving it, okay, everybody's gonna be covered up towards the action, which is right in here in the middle of the field, okay? So the furthest guy ends up being him, or this guy here, he could be the threat. You know, if they have the right mindset, every time you get the ball, you're looking to attack and go right away. But by the time they react to that and try to slide to it, you know, it very well could be that last guy or that furthest guy away, all right? But for this set, when you run it, the mindset has to be that I'm the one with the ball, and my teammates picking for me. I'm the threat. I'm the one. They're not stopping me because I'm going to run right through that pick. I'm going to rub his shoulder. I'm going to come right off, and I'm going to let it go. When we start our fall, our attackmen, they all play defense. And so we have this drill we stole from, I forget who we stole it from. It's called the Y drill, and everybody takes a turn playing cover. First slide, second slide, and we'll have the attackman do it too. And we have the luxury of having a fall practice, so we get this exchange, ball turns over, it goes, one's not hugging the midfield line, you know, and saying, I can't go, you know, he's gonna go, and he's gonna do the best he can, you know, yes.
Yeah, do you use number sets for all your, like, you use numbers for 1 3 2 set, but so if you're running a 2 2 1 4 1, do you have numbers for those as well, or is it just?
No, but you'll see in a clip, and I'll show you, the benefit of having this as our base set, and we will call out a number, and they'll know exactly what we're talking about. And we're not even, you know, we're not in that set, we're not in the Tiger set. But to answer your question, if we run a 2-2-2, we have not developed that yet, as far as having set numbers, or any other set for that matter. Any other questions? Burn 3 balls, compromise. Okay. No, so we're done here. Next one. So now we're going to burn for 2. All right. Remember, this is the LSM. 2 spots that we burn 2 for is we'll go behind. All right. Set the pick at X. All right. As you play this out, we'll practice this. All right. He's got the LSM. He's got a long pole. You know. We have a guy back here that, you know, is pretty good with that, all right, if it's a long pole and working that game. That some people might think, great, you're creating a pretty aggressive double team there behind, especially when it's behind the cage, all right, and you're right, we are, but we're going to be smart about when we run this and when we call that, okay? So we pick for him behind. Obviously, he sets the pick. First thing he's doing is opening up. He comes off. He-Bell just throw it right back to him, all right? As he comes off, pick set, he comes off, he's looking here, all right, for skips. We also will set or burn 2 at GLE, okay? 2 comes, pick a set. A lot of times, when we run this, he opens up right away, he gives it right away. He does, 2 doesn't even finish turning the corner. He just looks right back to 6. And then that puts that LSM in a, you know, kind of a difficult spot, whether he can get over that cage or not, over that net. You know, and he's just attacking hard right-handed. Mindset of he's turning the corner to shoot or throw it up, or step down. Okay? Any questions with 26? I'm sorry, what's that? I'm sorry, burn 2, sorry. Next one? Okay, so the next thing we can do out of this set is 45, which is our sweeps, right? And the number goes, first number called or said 45, so that's 4. 4 is now the clearing guy, all right? Going back to what we see on scouts and what we know, what we think we know, 4 is either going to set a pick on him or he's going to clear through, all right? Just clear through, all right? And then 5 is coming off that for a hard right-handed sweep, okay? Going back to the youth, and like I said, I wasn't aware that youth was going to be here. I might have picked something else to go over, because I don't know if you're going to get all this with the youth group, to be honest with you. But 45 and 54 you definitely can get with the youth group.
Well,
Okay?
you get 2 strong players, you can create right off
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you can. But technically, everybody else is supposed to exchange, and you'll see in my clips, even my guys aren't exchanging if they were supposed to. There's more of those clips than the others. But 45 is going to come through, 4's coming through, 5's going to come through, okay? 2 and 6, same rules, exchange backside. Him, just find a space where if that ball keeps coming, you can become a shooter. 3 has 2 options. The one we like the best is he clears through, high C cut, right? Or he hedges up, invites the adjacent slide, right? And 5 comes, hits him, step down shot, okay? Once in a while we get that. But him clearing through for the high C cut is the high percentage one, okay? 5 will come off to a shot, throw forward, or throw across to 3 on his C cut. That we're starting to get more of, okay? And that drill Coach Haas showed of, you know, stepping out and throwing back, you know, that's a drill that we'll also do to help with that. Yes?
They exchanged their side.
Backside.
Backside?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're assuming that 5's going to get across the center line.
5 always gets across. He always gets across. The guy may be on his hip there, okay, but he'll never be in his defender will never be in a situation where he cannot throw that forward. Okay.
Yeah, you probably said it, but what's one shot?
One shot is just to get up in the shooting spot, okay? Be smart and be able to transfer the ball quick, okay? And this is like when like when I first started out saying, oh, everything's going to exchange, everything's going to change. Well, now we're moving to a different attack mode of this set, and so unfortunately, the rule doesn't stick for them, right? Anybody else? Yes.
So in this instance, Bob doesn't have a shot against the defense, ball gets pushed to the alley, everybody just rebounds, gets back to the spots, you keep running.
Yep. Yep. So 5 now will end up being in that 3 spot, and that goes back to what we said earlier. He has to know what to do in the 3 spot, and that he's in the 3 spot. And trust me, that takes some time for everybody. You know, we run a scramble drill and we put them out there. And what number are you? What number you are? We'll take them in the classroom and wait up the spots. You know, things like that. It doesn't take that long for them to get it. So that's 45. Okay. 54, everything's the same, but just obviously 4's the one coming, we're sweeping, so ball's gonna come clockwise, 5 will clear through, or pick, get the exchange, okay? 1 now had to come through, high C cut, and be looking to have that ball given back to him if it's an option. Okay. All right, next one. Okay, burn 5. So we the ball's moved around, everybody's in different spots now. Okay, now the attackman's up in the 5 spot. The shorty's down in the 1 spot. Pardon me. Everything we just talked about in all the previous slides, okay, pertains here. So 1's going to come up and set the pick here. Nice hard left alley dodge, exchange backside, exchange. Okay. Go ahead, Coach. Good.
Coach, 4 and 3 are going to be your strongest left-handers, right? Pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we want to go to the invert. We've called it different things, but 6 short. All right, that just tells one of the shorties he has to get to the crease. All right, and as the ball comes around and we get here, all right, if we know he's a righty, that's how we want to invert it to that side. That pass is guaranteed. That pass is never not happen, okay? Because he's running away from his defender to the boundary line, in line. That pass is there. As long as he's not flat-footed, standing right in front of his defender, he's going to make that pass, all right? He gets it and he goes. They exchange, okay? These two should exchange also after that pass is made. So now we've inverted that quickly, and they haven't had a time to hammer it or put a hole to it, okay? And it's a way to go quickly out to an invert. Yes?
What's a counter to the defense that's just switching? It's just when you exchange, they just basically stay. So they kind of know.
Patience.
Okay.
We have to be more patient than they are, okay? And then if they're doing a hell of a job and we're not, all right, then we're gonna have to go to a different set because the clock's gonna be on, and we have to get something. But usually the offense will win that out.
Do you see defenses adjusting where you're setting a pick and then on the backside they're just kind of talking through that and just saying we're just switching every time? Or?
Yeah, we do. And pretty much if they continue to do that, they're pretty much going to start putting themselves into a zone, okay? And then we go to our zone offense, okay? It's really like a chess match that, when it gets to that point. But I'm going to be honest, it really hasn't happened that often for us, Yes?
Do you generate most of your scoring opportunities from the actual two-man game or from feeds to one of the other pairs off of that?
I would say probably more to the feed off of it, okay? When we set those picks properly, and that two-man game's working really well, we get a lot out of there.
And generally speaking, you're not picking with the backside, you just exchange.
Right, yep. Now you can take, our guys will adjust sometimes and take it a step further and actually go, and we won't even know they're doing it, and they'll actually go pick for that lefty attackman's, that defender, especially if he's the stud defender. If he's like their best defender, we very well can make that adjustment. A lot of times they'll do it on their own, which shocks me, and they'll set that pick off that stud, and then let that guy come free, and it's good.
Do you use that a lot to get the matchups that you want if you notice that teams are switching a lot?
Yeah, I mean, and what it does, it happens more times than not, by running this set, they get, especially if somebody that hasn't seen you, all right, and doesn't have the scout on you, you get to exploit their weaknesses pretty quick, okay? And by the time they figure out what's going on and they make their adjustments, that's fine. Well, now they still have to do a good job of communicating, the picks, all right, and making sure whether they're switching or staying, okay? Did that answer your question? Okay.
Coach, how many times do you knock a guy down when you're setting a pick, percentage-wise?
Not much. We'll see a clip here where we thought it was a great pick, and the rest blew it up, So, but very, and that's the other thing too. Like if they know they're coming into this, those defenders are like, okay, and then they're kind of looking to see if the pick's coming. That plays to our advantage, okay? They can't be as aggressive on your hands, and, you know, there's a little bit of that cushion there. So what really makes this set work is the off-ball guys exchanging, paying attention, and how fast we move the ball. Probably more so than, I shouldn't say it, but probably more so than how you set the picks. So if you can get those 4 guys off ball, are doing what they're supposed to be doing, and that ball's moving quick, this will work for you, okay? Again, I'm saying at high school level. Okay, so 6 inverted and receive the ball. Next one, Coach. 15 short, right? It's obvious. Right now, we just want the shorties in the 1 and 5 spot. We can go 26 short. We can go 34 short. I'm sorry, just go back to 15 short. All right, so 15 short, it's, again, 20-yard line or higher. These two always going backside. When we run this, the downside is these 2 guys, a lot of times they start becoming spectators. They want to see what's happening here, because usually it's pretty exciting, you know, and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we have to harp on that. We'll let this play out. 15 short, patience, we'll yell, okay? And that's letting these 2 know, if you don't get it the first time, you can go again. You can repick, you can, you know, exchange it back and forth and try it again. And we just, you know, we see what happens, and a lot of times you're gonna get something. And if these guys are and will exchange like they're supposed to, and there's 2 D-middies that are really, really good playing us, and we're getting nothing, and the more patient we are, and we're getting these exchanges, we're gonna be able to get it across, and we're gonna get something off. Yes?
When you're repicking, you just keep the ball on that side of the field?
Yeah.
And continue to pick?
With the 2 shorties, yeah.
Do you want to slow by, give some time for everybody to recognize that you're gonna go at it again?
Yeah, when we say patience, basically, we're telling our guys, right? And sooner or later, the defense understands, okay, this is what they're gonna do. They wanna just play this 2-man game here. Oh, okay, so now this LSM is gonna hedge here. He's gonna come all the way in here and hedge. He's down hedging that defender, okay? And then if we're getting these exchanges like we're supposed to, everybody's hedging in strong to the crease, ready to help out with the slide progression, that's when we're hopefully gonna be able to send it across and 1 more down timer room shot, okay? So we're not afraid of announcing, we don't try to, but we know sooner or later they're gonna figure out, oh, they wanna play a 2-man game over here, okay? And we know that's gonna happen. So that's why the off-ball guys have to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we saw these 2 spots. You can also 26 short. Now here, you can play the mirror game with these 2, okay? You can put the 2 behind and the 2-man picking game behind, all right? With everything like you were trying to do in the alley, you can do behind. Pick it X, pick the line, extend it, and or the mirror. 2 drives, he's following, okay? And what's happening, and this goes back to these guys exchanging and just being ready with their backs not to the ball, ready to receive a pass if it comes up, take the shot or move it again and move quickly. Any questions for that one? Simple, next one? Okay, so.
Hey, Coach, just
Yeah.
a quick question. When you said you had your guys, you have your attack men playing defense, and you're saying, you know, I think it was in that 15 short, if the attack man was, you want the attack man to go down and play defense?
Yeah.
Does that mean that then one of your middies would know to stay
Yes.
in the attack area?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. But, you know, we usually get that. I mean, they're pretty good at that, and our attackmen are a little bit more athletic now than we've been in the past, and they understand, you know, they're not afraid to go play defense. And you got to remember too, we have the luxury of the fall. And this has been, you get 16 practices, and we've done that every practice. You know, so they're, you know, the recognition of it might be the hardest part. Oh, I should go, But you got the three of us sideline, just, you know, we're communicating to them too. You gotta go, you know. So we're okay with it.
I always thought about it on like a man back on the rush. I never thought about it the other way.
Yeah. So this first one, bear with me, we changed the order of these clips. So this is supposed to be 45, okay? So we're gonna run that back. What happened was, the guy up in this guy, Paul's coach, he should be sweeping to the outside here, okay? He's coming in to try to set the pick, but he decides for some reason, now he's just gonna go down the left alley and take a left-handed shot. He's not even a lefty, okay? But he hits the low pipe. So, you know, now we're gonna watch and see what should have happened. 2 and 6 should be exchanging on this backside. He should be coming through and clearing out, because everybody here is thinking he's sweeping, he's clearing through, creating all this space. So the problem is, in theory, we should be jammed up in here, so he shouldn't be able to go down this alley for that left-handed shot. That's the problem when somebody goes off course, okay? So we're gonna run it again. Pause it. Okay, because everybody else didn't do what they were supposed to do, he was able to go down that alley, all right? So this is, and I guarantee you, he came off and said, "Wow, I hit pipe." I'm like, well, this is why, you know. So next one. Like I said, guys, I wish there was more that we did right on these clips than bad, but. Okay, now this one here, we're getting to 45. Everything's good, except number 3 here is 6'4", 220, and his lacrosse IQ is not very strong at all, but he's a force. You know, he's a hard guy. This is a team here. Nobody put pause it, coach. Nobody put body on him to put him down. Going back to like a Stevenson. If we were playing Stevenson, he's not getting that off. He's not
He'd be
getting
on
it
his
off.
back, right?
Huh?
He'd be on his back, right?
Yeah, he'd be on his back. But, you know, he muscles through and he gets a shot. The good thing is, we got one clearing through, doing what he's supposed to do. We got the exchange. Everything was good, except for now the guy with the ball didn't do what he was supposed to do. If you watch, if he stayed to the out, look at this. If he stayed to the outside, right? Okay. But he's a great kid, but he, again, you know, I don't understand. I scored, you know. Sorry. They stop. So we talked about those first 2 were 45s, okay? Here, the ball just came up off an unsettled situation. We threw it up here, all right? We're not in anything right now, all right, because it was an unsettled situation, letting it play out. Ball comes up, we see him catch the ball or have the opportunity to have the ball up here against this kid. All I said was 54. All I said was 45. 45. Right? We're not even set up in Tiger. We said 45. He knew exactly what we wanted him to do. Okay? So that goes back to everybody knowing their numbers and their spots on the field. It works even when we're not in the set. If we say 45 or 54, they know, oh, we're looking for a sweep. Okay, we're burned too. We found it in a different set, and we got our shorty back at X, and we like the matchup, and we want to go right away. We'll say burn 2. We may be in a 14 set, you know. But at least they understand what it is, what we want to have happen. Okay. Okay, now here, this is 45. Thought that pick was good. They blew it up, said it wasn't. Can you run that back, coach? I'm sorry, 54. 5's going first, 4 sweeping. Here's the pick. he's really not doing what he's supposed to do. He should be coming through here, and he'd be open in there. And this guy would be hedging to him, all right? Okay? And then you're taking the handcuffs off. Now it becomes fun. This is our chaos, okay? Coach Haas talked about chaos. This is our chaos. That's what it should be. So how fast we get to that is how fast they respond and they take ownership. Okay, this is 54. Okay, one more time, and we'll make this the last one, just to see what everybody else is doing. The ball's up. We're getting the clear through or the pick. Sorry, clear through pick. Yep, he went a little bit early to clear through. Those two didn't exchange the way they were supposed to. Any questions? We have to wrap it up. Yes.
What do you run the most?
We'll start every game with this.
Okay.
Yep. But then we'll go to a 2-1-3 set where we just 2-1-3 set where up top 3 guys we call single, where that's just a straight up shorty dodging shorty. Double, where the shorty and the long pole, or the 2 shorties are picking each other up top, you know, or sweep. All right, and that's both guys clear through. Outside guy, whether he's the pole or the shorty, sweeps the top of the field. You know, and there's several things that we do, but this is our base set when things aren't going well. Tiger, everybody knows what to do, where to go. We get settled down. We know we're going to get possessions. Usually, we're not going to lose the ball because you know we don't know what we're doing. But yeah, it's not by any means the only thing that we do at all. Every year, in the last 3 or 4 years, this has been our base set. Every year I've coached, we've always had a base set, and then you just go off of that as the season goes on.
Coach, when you move it around the first 2 times in the beginning, are you looking to see where the slides are really coming from, and then, like you said, you make an adjustment?
Yeah, you're trying to fill everything out. You're trying to fill personnel out. You're trying to fill your guys out. You're trying to, see, how they're sliding. Usually, you're going to know how they're sliding before you get there, especially if you had film. It's really to see for the benefit of our guys settling down and getting touches. Especially if we don't win the face-off initially, and we've been playing defense. All right, when we win the face-off and we're playing offense, a couple touches, then we'll go. But if we play a lot of defense, their face-off gets dominant, and he's been getting us. We're going to be more patient if we can, and more touches. Any other questions? If anybody has anything, obviously, we'll be here after. And I have a business card. You can email me or anything else. Like Coach Haas, same thing. Bells, we're always looking for players for Fairleigh Dickinson. I've kind of lost, I hate to say it, lost contact with the Philly areas more than I should have. I've been trying to get more out of the Long Island area because it has seemed to have been working better for us. But I know there's a ton of good lacrosse down here, and so I will be definitely contacting you guys and asking for your help. All right? I think if they come up and see us, see what we have, I think they'll like what they see. Okay? Thanks, guys.